Joining me now to discuss the trial is Misty Marris, a defense and trial attorney. Misty, thank you very much for being here. You know, this is very complicated, and I'm hoping that you can walk us through this just one piece at a time. First, the fact that the jury has reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts, sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts of each, after deliberating for some 12 hours. For starters, what should we make of that?
Well, good morning. It sounds like the jury has come to a unanimous decision on those 4 charges. Remember, until a verdict is read in open court, it is not a verdict. So what the jury did was send a note that indicated they were unanimous on those 4, but that they could not come to an agreement on count 1, which is RICO. So what we expect to happen today is for the jurors to come back into that deliberation room and get in there and get to work on RICO to see if they can come to a unanimous verdict. With respect to the others, those seem like they will result in either convictions or acquittals, because the jurors have said that they're unanimous, and the jurors need to be unanimous to either find guilty or not guilty. So that we're all on pins and needles, but nobody is on pins and needles more than Combs and his defense team last night.
So on this 5th charge of racketeering conspiracy that the jury is deadlocked on, just walk us through that a little bit more. I mean, explain exactly what that charge is and what would the prosecution have needed to prove exactly to make a convincing case there. I mean, it is, as a reminder again, the charge that carries the heaviest penalty.
Yes, it carries the heaviest penalty, and it is by far the most complicated. When I heard that this is the one the jurors could not come to a unanimous decision on, I was not surprised. It's a very complicated charge, and it requires a showing that Combs and at least one other person conspired to engage in a criminal enterprise. So there has to be a conspiracy between at least 2 people and a criminal enterprise. And that criminal enterprise committed what's called predicate crimes. And the jury has to decide that at least 2 crimes were committed within the course of 10 years. Now that sounds like a mouthful. Keep in mind the jury has the jury instructions with them in the deliberation room. It's like 40 pages front and back, and a lot of it is dedicated to RICO, because not only do prosecutors have to prove the conspiracy and that an enterprise existed, but also that prosecutors proved at least 2 of those predicate crimes. They include kidnapping, bribery, arson, the sex trafficking, prostitution. Some of the charges are actually predicate crimes as well. So the jury has to be unanimous on at least 2 of those predicate crimes in order to convict. So all of that being said, it requires a lot of agreeing in order to get to a conviction. And the note yesterday said that they were in a deadlock, and so there were differing opinions on that particular charge. So whether that means they can't agree on the predicate crimes or they can't agree on the threshold matters like conspiracy or an enterprise, we don't know. But what we do know is the jury is going to get back to work in the deliberation room this morning.
Yeah, they're going to get back to work in just a few hours here. When a jury is deadlocked like that, and particularly on such a complicated charge as you were just laying out, take us inside that room. I mean, how do the people in that room potentially get to a unanimous decision? And also, I mean, how likely do you think that is?
I actually think in this case it's very unlikely. I do not think that the jury is going to be able to come to consensus. Of course, we don't know. We're only opining because we're not in that room. Jury deliberations are secret. So the content of what they speak about, we are not allowed to know. Even the judge is not allowed to know. So what the jury is going to do is follow the instruction that the judge gave yesterday. He gave what we call, it was a watered down version of what's called an Allen charge. And an Allen charge basically says to the jury, go into the deliberation room and keep an open mind. If you're in the minority of people, and in your opinion, listen to the majority. If you need to see more evidence, see more evidence. Try and come to a consensus, but do not give up your true convictions. So the language is very specific, not to be what's called coercive, not to feel like it's putting pressure on the jury, agree no matter what. The language is to go in there and really listen, keep an open mind, and see if you can do your duty as a juror and come to that unanimous decision. So that's what the jury is going to do today. I'm a little skeptical that we'll get there on this particular charge. I think that you could see a hang up on whether or not there's even a criminal enterprise, and you don't even get to the next elements then. But only time will tell, because the jurors are the ones who are truly in control at this point.
We'll be watching very closely today. Misty Marris, thank you so much.